Good morning, Rachel. My name's Alyssa, and I'm super excited to respond to your amazing video. Um, I really wanted to dive in first to how you directly reference feudalism to capitalism in the reference to video one, A Flickering Light in the Darkness from 1972. Um, I really appreciated how you referenced the effects of capitalism in reference to what we experience today. I directly thought what you were referencing was the concept of the landlord and the priest making absolutely nothing, and they ate better than anyone else in the land. This is a direct quote that I keep coming back to from the video when I think about generational wealth from large companies that now in modern day are still established, like Rockefellers, for example, who are famous then or famous now. The impact on metal and how that infiltrates our roads, buildings from New York to Florida. Construction's constantly happening, and that takes a lot of money and investment. And the buildings they build, most people can't actually afford unless you're within a certain economic class. So this just continues. Additionally, I thought it was interesting how you referenced the moral justification linked to subjecting whole nations to capitalist ideals, such as in Africa. I wanted to reference how you kept coming back to capitalism in the sixth video. There was a part of the video where they referenced someone who really pushed how important going to Africa, taking everything they could from them, and then continuing to use those resources all over the United States. This person was linked to Morton Stanley, the explorer and journalist, who I wanted to reference a quote he said, where he says, in Africa, you can invest in roads, railways, plantation farmers who are already there. So he said that you don't have to keep like moving slaves from here to there; they're already there, and you can use them in order to get more materials, such as gold, oils, things like that, in order to trade all over the world. But you'll use this and the human life there like a tool, like in a factory. How you summarized all of this into a major approach of how history affects capitalism and our present. And you also looked at your own experience in modern day, especially with, I like how you said government control is social and economic, wealth and power. I also kind of relate to that as well, because when I think about it, there are people in this world who never have to work a day in their lives. Like they were born and they were rich because their families were rich. And there was that generational wealth already established. The first person I can think of is when I think of like an incredibly famous company owner, such as like the owners of Apple or Microsoft, when they have children, that child never has to work a day in their life because their parents were already rich based off of the work and the labor of so many other people. They own the company, similar to how landlords would own the land, and all the workers who work under that company make a small portion of what the owner already makes because he has the rights and properties to all Apple phones, all Apple computers, Apple resources, watches, etc. They only make a small portion of what the owner creates. Even though they may put in 40-hour, 50-hour weeks for 20 years, they would have to invest, save, maybe have a second job in order to make a drop of what that owner makes. And even then, taxes come out of what they make. So they're not even making a super large amount up front in that first month. So when you think about it from this socioeconomic stance of you make this so you can live this way, the cost of housing, food, a vehicle, the gas in that vehicle, if you have children, all these additional costs, people tend to live check by check. Similarly to how the workers back in the day had to work these extensive hours just to make it by to have food. So I liked how you mirrored how the past and the present are directly connected and not much has changed. And we ourselves have to like look at the past or to really understand the present. I loved your video. I thought it was so cool. And I hope that this response was good. All right, have a great